Heyo! Welcome to a Team SNG deck profile. Today we are going to be doing Ancient Warriors Tri-Brigade. While I got your attention, I'd like to ask you guys, make sure you leave us a like, leave us a comment, and leave us a subscribe. We just hit 200 subscribers, and I've made the big announcement, which is linked down below, that we will be doing live streaming coming up soon. That all being said, let's talk about the deck. This is an interesting deck. It utilizes the Ancient Warriors engine, which, as we've seen several times throughout our channel's history, is quite a powerful engine. Its ability to go second and ability to go first is why I really enjoy the deck and why I think the deck's got a lot of potential. However, when you do combine it with the Tri-Brigade engine and the extra deck monsters that the Tri-Brigade engine brings you, well, now the deck can do something a little more special. That all being said, let's just get into it. Leading our Ancient Warriors off is our Masterful Son. We run 3 copies of him as he is the Rhoda for the deck. He searches out Ancient Warrior monsters, and on top of that, he can act as a form of interruption so long as you can trigger another Ancient Warrior on your opponent's turn. When another Ancient Warrior monster's effect is activated, he can target and bounce a card on your opponent's side of the field, just acting as a form of spot removal mid-combo in your opponent's turn, so long as you can trigger another Ancient Warrior, which isn't hard to do these days with our Double Dragon Lords and our Sujay Kong and all of our other monsters that interact on our opponent's turn. Continuing our Ancient Warrior lineup, we have our Shu Gong. Shu Gong lets us search out our Spell Trap lineup. So much like some Mo searches our monsters, Shu Gong searches our Spell Traps. Shu Gong also can act as a form of interrupt, as if another Ancient Warrior monster activates its effect, he'll trigger to negate a monster effect on your opponent's side of the field. So that can be really useful because it can just stop your opponent from comboing off if you can negate them mid-turn. On top of that, some Mo can actually work alongside our Liu Schwann to form a dupe block, as both of them can't be targeted for battle so long as there is another Ancient Warrior monster on the field. So if you've got both on the field at the same time, your opponent can't target either of them for battle, meaning that they protect each other. Liu Schwann's got a couple of more interesting effects, but we only run him at 1 because really he's a better going second card than going first, and this deck ideally would like to go first. What he can do is if your opponent controls more monsters than you, you can special summon an Ancient Warrior from the deck. Also, if a battle is declared involving an Ancient Warrior monster while he's on the field, you get to draw a card, and this used to be the old way of triggering off your Sun Mo and your Shu Gong on your opponent's turn. However, now we've got so many other options to do that, Virtuous Liu Schwann has just sort of fallen a little out of favor. Continuing our win lineup for our Ancient Warriors, we have our ingenious Sujay Kong. Now this is one of the ways we can interrupt our opponent on our opponent's turn, and that is that this card, when he is searched out by an Ancient Warrior monster, will special summon himself. Not really an interrupt there, but he does have a quick effect, which will let you send an Ancient Warrior spell trap to the graveyard from the spell and trap card zone to negate a spell or trap on your opponent's side of the field. Now, if you partner him up with his boss man, Liu Schwann, he can negate a monster effect instead. So, using these two in tandem can be really useful, but at the end of the day, the real reason that we run Ingenious Sujay Kong is actually to go into our Link monster really quickly. However, if we do end up with him sitting on the field, that's perfectly fine, because of the very simple fact that we can use him as a negate and as a way of triggering our Masterful Son Mo on our opponent's turn. The final Wind Ancient Warrior that we run is our Valiant Zhang Dai. Now this is our big beat stick boss monster. He can attack multiple times if our opponent controls more monsters than us. He gains attack based on how many cards our opponent controls on the field. So he basically is just a big beat stick that we can use to run over our opponent's turn 3 if we've gone first, or we can use to run over our opponents and break a board turn 2 if we've ended up going second. Now on to some of our more treacherous Ancient Warriors, not quite as peace-loving as our Wind and Water attributes. The first is our Fire attribute, Ancient Warriors Fearsome Zhang Yuan. Now this is a really interesting card because he acts as a bit of a hand trap. If your opponent declares an attack against one of your Ancient Warriors on the field, you can special summon this at the start of the damage step and decrease your opponent's monster's attack by 1,000, meaning that it's likely going to have a hard time getting over whatever it was initially attacking. On top of that, he has an additional effect, which is if a card on your opponent's side of the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, he gets to target and destroy another card. Next is the Ambitious Chao Dai. Now this is a really useful card. It's a boss monster. It acts as a bit of a Goyo Guardian. When it destroys something, it gets to add something, it gets to special summon that monster to your side of the field, which you could then use as link material later on. On top of that, he's easy enough to special summon. If something is destroyed on your opponent's side of the field, just discard a card and you can special summon this to the field. So he's a big boss monster. On top of that, your opponent cannot target it for card effects, and it can't be destroyed by card effects so long as you control another Ancient Warrior, making it a really problematic card for your opponent to get rid of, assuming that their stuff targets. Finally, the last big boss that we run is one copy of Rebellious Lu Feng. Now, I have heard in the past, and I've had comments in the past, suggesting I up this to 2. I like this at 1. It's easy enough to search out in this deck. What with our Sun Mo and our Spell Trap lineup, that realistically, you should be able to find this every single time. And I'm perfectly fine using a search on this. Now, what he'll do is he'll special summon himself directly to the field so long as you control the highest attack Ancient Warrior. And at the end of your opponent's turn, he'll switch sides so long as your opponent controls the highest attack monster. But that's not necessarily going to be likely due to the fact he is a big 2800 beater. Once per turn during the main phase, he can pop the largest monster your opponent controls. And that's a quick effect, so again, that will trigger your Sun Mo. If your opponent's got 2 monsters on the field, boom, you pop one and you bounce the other. Really useful little interaction there. Now onto the Tri-Brigade lineup, starting off with the big playmaker in Tri-Brigade Fractal. Tri-Brigade Fractal, just like all the other Tri-Brigades, will let you special summon a Link monster that is Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast from the extra deck, so long as you banish Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beasts from your graveyard equal to the Link rating of that monster. So that can be really useful because it lets you cheat monsters out of the extra deck. The one thing is, it doesn't lock you into only being able to special summon those 3 types. It just locks you into using those 3 types as Link material. So you can't Link climb through something like a Nightmare package so long as you've used one of these guys' effects. But Fractal's real reason for being here is that you can discard him to send a Tri-Brigade monster from the deck to the grave. What you're likely going to be sending is your Tri-Brigade kit. Tri-Brigade kit, when it is sent to the graveyard, will then send another Tri-Brigade to the grave, which will then send your Tri-Brigade Nerval. Tri-Brigade Nerval will then let you search a Tri-Brigade when it is sent to the grave, letting you search out your Tri-Brigade Karis. And Tri-Brigade Karis will special summon himself to the field if you pitch a Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster from your hand. So, Fractal, plus any other monster in the deck, will get you a Link 4, as you can then use Karis' on-field effect to banish Fractal, Kit, Nerval, and the monsters sent by Fractal's effect from the hand to summon a Link 4 Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast, such as Shuriag the Ominous Omen, from your extra deck. Meaning that, without using your normal summon, Tri-Brigade gets you a Link 4 boss monster on the field right away. Now onto our spells. Our spells are basically just giant consistency boosts for the deck. Starting off with our Ancient Warrior spell, 3 visits, another Rhoda. If you normal or special summon an Ancient Warrior, search an Ancient Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. When this card is sent from the field to the grave, special summon an Ancient Warrior from your hand. So you can use this to basically search out whatever Ancient Warrior you might be missing to get your combo going, whether it's your Rebellious Lu Feng, or it's your Sun Mo, or whatever else you might be missing. Then we also run Tri-Brigade Airborne Assault. If you control a Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster, you can target it with this card, and then special summon a Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast that is a different type from the monster you targeted and has lower attack directly to the field. So you can use this to either summon any of your Tri-Brigades, assuming that you've got Shuriag, which is a Winged Beast on the field, who has 3000 attack, or you can use this to special summon any of your Tri-Brigades, so long as you've got an Ancient Warrior on the field that has a higher attack than the Tri-Brigade you're aiming to special summon. This can all be extremely useful, and you can use this in interesting ways to get whatever combo pieces you are missing onto the field. Finally, some more consistency. We run 3 copies of Tenki, as you can use this to search out Fractal or any of your Ancient Warrior level 4 monsters. And we run 2 copies of Tenzu, as an extra normal summon is just always a useful thing to have, and they're both continuous, meaning that the Ancient Warriors can use them as fodder for their discard costs. Now, as I've stated earlier, this is a going first variant, so because it's a going first variant, we do run quite a few traps. The first of which being our Ancient Warriors Defensive Changban. Defensive Changban is really useful because of the fact that it does let you special summon an Ancient Warrior from the deck, so long as you banish this from your graveyard. But it also makes it so your opponent can't attack any of your Ancient Warriors, making it so that the only things available to them for attack are going to be your Tri-Brigades, and you're likely going to have put Omni Shuriag on the board if you've gone into that engine at all. Then we have Ancient Warriors Saga Chivalrous Path. If your opponent special summons a monster, this will special summon a Beast Warrior token to your side of the field, which partners so well with Shuriag's effect to banish a monster if a Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster is summoned to the field. We also do run some general negations. If you've been following the channel for a while, you'll know I really love Titanicider. It being able to basically act as Lost Wind, except better, reducing the opponent's monster's attack to 0 instead of cutting it in half, and being able to set itself back to the field continuously, so long as your opponent special summons from the extra deck, just makes it such a useful card for any deck to have access to. On top of that, we do run the aforementioned Lost Wind as well, just because sometimes, you know, an extra negation here and there can be extremely valuable. That does it for our trap lineup. Onto our extra deck. So starting off with our extra deck, we got the typical Ancient Warrior Double Dragon Lords. 3 copies of him. With them. What they do is they let you search a Ancient Warrior card from your deck to your hand, so long as they are link summoned. So you do need to be careful of that. You cannot use the search effect if you've used the Tri-Brigades to get into this. On top of that, as a quick effect, you can discard a card and bounce a card on your opponent's side of the field. Just to round this off and make this card just that little bit better, all Ancient Warrior monsters on your side of the field will gain 500 attacks so long as this is on the field, meaning that your Ancient Warriors get bigger and bigger and bigger, and your Rebellious Lu Feng, for instance, ends up at a whopping 3,300 just for having this on the field with it. We're going to start off with our Tri-Brigade Farragut, the Barren Blossom. This is a Link 2. It just requires 2 Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters. What she lets you do is special summon a level 4 or lower Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast from your hand. The other thing this card does is when this card is sent to the grave, you get to fix your hand. You draw a card and then place a card from your hand to the graveyard. So if you've not necessarily seen the cards you want in your opening combo, you can link climb using her, and then you can fix your hand to hopefully see whatever it is you're missing. Next, we run 2 copies of the less popular Rugel, the Silver Sheller. Rugel is the Link 3, and can be an extremely useful card because of the fact that he does let you special summon back from your graveyard a Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster, meaning that you can bring back your Summao if you've used it as link material on your opponent's turn. Now, its effects will be negated, and it will be returned to the hand during the end phase, but at the end of the day, at least you're potentially getting back something like your Summao that you may have linked off mid-combo. Finally, onto the big boss monster of the Tri-Brigades. As we have mentioned a few times, Tri-Brigade Shuriag, the Ominous Omen. If a Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster is special summoned while this is on the field, you get to banish a card on your opponent's side of the field. Now that is non-targeting, and that is not just tied to monsters. It can be any card. So if you've got a troublesome field spell, boom, get rid of it. On top of that, if he is sent to the graveyard while on the field, you can add from your deck a Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster whose level is equal to or lower than the number of banished Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters. So he really can be useful in the sense that he can act as searchability later on in the game, but early on in the game he acts as a massive interruption. And as I said earlier, if you partner this up with Chivalrous Path, the token generated by Chivalrous Path can trigger his effect anytime your opponent special summons a monster, and so you can use that to basically stop your opponent mid-combo and make it so that they have no hope in heck of getting their combos going. So that does it for our Tri-Brigades. Now, really, the extra deck is totally up to you at this point, so let me know what you would run in your extra deck down below in the comments. At the end of the day, this deck is really interesting in the sense that it basically lets you use 2 different engines to power out boss monsters from both very quickly. The real benefit this deck has, though, is that it works so well together in tandem. What with some Mo adding extra consistency and searching out the ancient warrior monsters you need to go into your double dragon lords, and Fractal being able to set your graveyard up absolutely perfectly to turbo out Shuriag. Both of these monsters then work in tandem together to limit your opponent's ability to combo off. And what I really do love about this build of the deck is that you do run your Chivalrous Path, which partners so well with Ominous Omen, just to really put your opponent on their back foot. The minute they special summon something, poof, it's banished. You can use that at any point in a combo to interrupt it, and that's what I really love. On top of that, the spell lineup just adds so much consistency. What with having 3 searchers, one that can search your Fractal or your Sun Ma'o or any of the monsters you're missing, one that can search out any Ancient Warrior card you're missing, and one that potentially could search out absolutely everything in the deck, and not only search it out, but put it straight on the board to be utilized right away. This also acts as a quick effect, which does mean you could potentially drop your Rebellious Lu Feng during your opponent's turn if you have Shuriag on the field. That all said, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you leave us a like, leave us a comment, leave us a subscribe. Make sure you are definitely subscribed. Hit that bell, because at the end of the day, guys, I want you all at that live stream. And it's coming out in 5 weeks. I'll see you guys at the next video.